Did she make contact with you?
She didn't. She pushed me into the camera. Like she balled up her fist and kind of tried to, like she was aiming for my head. But because I ducked out the way, I fell into the cameraman. That's how the finger ended up bleeding.
Then why did you go back and tell the girl she hit you?
I think that for me, and what I want people to understand is I can see how it looks like I was a liar. I think it was all very blurry for me. And I think that I led with, she swung on me.
Yes,
and I think that it morphed into she really put her hands on me
because you are a liar and manipulator. You know the liar and manipulator you wanted us to believe your mother is. You're a liar and manipulator, and this whole interview just proved all of our opinions right. So we are about to get into this whole interview, all the lies, all the backpedaling, all the manipulation, all the times Chantel contradicted herself. We are going to review this whole interview, babe, because Chantel, this was not a good look. If you thought this was going to put you back on top, it wasn't giving what you thought it was going to give, babe. He said, first of all, thank you for reaching out to me. So Chantel done reached out to him after she's seen her mom's interview. Like, it's just fucking weird. I find it hard to believe that she reached out to him, but hey, let's say she did. She reached out to him in the DMs to get this interview, he said. Are you sure? Is that what happened?
I agree with or that I would like to defend myself on. It was done in a very tasteful way, and I didn't feel attacked, and I felt like, okay, you're a producer, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like explaining to you the events that led up to this scenario, maybe you can better understand. And even if you don't agree with the way that I handled it, you can kind of gauge like, okay, now that you mentioned that, but
see,
because the viewers
she's
don't
trying to get people on her side,
the ins and outs and the, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that are cut, the things that never see the light of day, it's very hard to understand. Like, why would you talk to her like that? Why would you do that? Why would you? So, like I said, even if you walk away from here today feeling like, bro, you still shouldn't have did that. I'm okay with that. Like, I understand that. But I do want it to be somewhere on wax, my side of the story.
Okay, so I thought this video was supposed to be her taking accountability. That's what it says in the picture. But you're already saying, oh, I reached out to you because, you know, I want you to get my side of the story. So maybe you can be like, oh, that's why you did what you did. Girl, that's not accountability. That's not taking accountability. That's you're trying to get public opinion to be on your side for pushing your elderly mother. She said a lot of people reached out to her, and even if she never returns back to Basketballwives, yeah, so it sounds like maybe she might not be coming back. And she said TMZ and everyone wanted her to come to LA, and she was like, no, that's why she reached out to Carlos, and Carlos came to her. So is that why it's giving low vibrational plate and low budget? That's why the sound, we ain't got no microphones. That's why we ain't got like a nice venue. It's because he had to come out to wherever the hell Chantel lives to do this pity party interview. So Carlos is trying to make it known that he didn't seek her out. He wants us to know that because you know it's dead ass wrong. You was just up in Jackie's face telling her how beautiful she is. You love Jackie. Then you gonna go interview her daughter that pushed her? I know he got a job to do, but Carlos makes enough money where he didn't even need to touch this. I don't like this. All this is going to do is create more division between their family, and I didn't even see the fucking interview yet. But look what he said. He's trying to make it known. He's trying to cover his ass.
For me, I did not seek you out.
Yes.
And I flew in town. I flew my producer, and I said, in order for me to have a conversation with her, I need to feel her. I need to be able to like look her face to face, eye in the eye. And I needed to, like I do all of my guests, I want to feel the energy from you. What I will say before I get started with the questioning, you are very likable right now.
Are you joking? I know y'all are joking.
Listen, you kind of got introduced to the world.
You're very likable. Your spirit.
Who likes her?
I was going to get coming into this.
Carlos is crazy. Carlos said, I want you to know, this is God. This is Well, he trying to say like God's in the room with them. Like, what? Okay. Now, you know, he always got to get a backstory. You know, I want you to tell us about you. How did you grow up with, you know, the Christies being your parents? And she's like, everyone thought like I was like a rich, poor little rich kid and grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. But, you know, I never wanted everything. Like, I always wanted to work for it. Girl, I know you fucking lying. Listen, I know y'all fucking lying.
I was the kid that wanted to like work for it. Like I was making the family newspapers, I was trying to do hair, like all of the little hustles. That is something that I get from my mom. You know, like I'm a hustler at heart. So this idea that I grew up just very privileged and like spoiled and bratty, it couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I think that having my grandmother in the house for all of my life, literally, like she passed away when I was 18. So for 18 years, I have this incredible woman that is around dropping all these gems and kind of just raising me in the ways that my mom couldn't. You get what I'm saying? Like,
is this Doug's mother or Jackie's mother?
This is Jackie's mom.
Okay.
Girl, already you're lying. So we already seen in Takari's book that your grandma lived down the street and she had her own apartment that Jackie paid for. So she didn't always live with y'all. She might have came to live with you later, but it's like, here we go with the narrative. Like, Jackie didn't raise me. It was my grandma. Bitch, you was still raised in a house with a roof over your head, got cars, had your bills paid, went to the best schools. Like, this is what we mean by you grew up with a silver spoon and you're not grateful because you're already trying to tell pity party. Like, I was doing hair. Bitch, your mom didn't have you in the streets doing hair to pay the rent. So please shut the fuck up. So she goes on to say that they moved around a lot because her dad was on the road. But girl, you're already contradicting yourself. I thought your mom left you at home with your grandma and your mom didn't raise you. That's what you want us all to believe on the show. That, you know, your grandma was in, she just said on the interview, her grandma was in the home with her all the way till she was 18 raising her. But then she goes on to say, you know, they were always moving and on the road because Doug, you know, was getting traded and had different jobs. So, you know, she learned a lot of things and that little girl still lives inside of her. Like, we still have not heard, like, what's the problem? What's the problem that you had to move? Because your dad was an NBA star? Like, make it make sense, y'all. It's like she's trying to make something a thing, and it's still not a thing.
Was obviously chasing Doug, but obviously there with her husband as he is being a basketball player. We all know Jackie Christie was at every game. Did you feel like your mother abandoned you and your siblings for her husband?
For a long time, I did feel that way. And I think that now that I'm a mother and a wife myself, and I'm married to someone that is actually in that same profession, I can understand her thought process.
Ain't that ironic?
Listen, it's all these groupies out here. I want to be next to my man, right? But what I realize now as a mother myself is that that's a choice. You can choose to go and be with your man, or you can choose to be with your
Or maybe your man ain't taking you on the road.
choice, and that's okay. Like, it is what it is, and I can't go back and change it. You can't go back and change it, but you also can't tell me that that wasn't my experience. Mm-hmm. When I had these basketball games, when I had these school events, when I had the parent-teacher conferences, when I got my first menstrual cycle, like this, my grandmother was who was there for those experiences. So that doesn't take away the fact that you gave birth to me, or that, you know, we do have memories throughout my life. Like, I'm not taking that away from her at all. But to try to rewrite history in an effort to discredit me, that's where we differ.
So, Chantel, where is the smoke for your dad? Where is the smoke for your dad in this? If you're mad that your mom was on the road with your dad, helping your dad, where's the smoke for him? Like, the fact of the matter is you were still taken care of. Your mom and dad were on the road getting money to take care of everybody. Where is the smoke for your dad? And I'm just like, you're not making any sense. You're not making any sense. We still have not heard your poor baby girl story. All you can say is your mom was on the road with Doug. Like, girl, what? But you was living in her house, so you can't act like she was never there. So he asked her the question that we all want to know. Why the fuck does Jackie get all the smoke, but your dad gets none? And her answer makes no sense.
That your mom may not have been the perfect parent, but they do feel like a lot of the smoke your mother gets and your father doesn't. Why is that?
Because these are my experiences. I mean, you can very well live in the same house and everybody has a different experience.
That's
And
not
I tell-
answering the question.
I tell a lot of people, like, my dad has had the pleasure of experiencing my mom as a wife. Me and my siblings have experienced her as a mother. And there is a difference there. And if you don't acknowledge that or you don't understand that, I love that for you. But as for me, it was different. Like, I'm watching you put on this like perfect, okay, Dad's on the way home, like let me make sure
You're not answering the
perfect.
question.
Like, I've seen it in real time.
Why are you not
You know
upset
what
with your
I'm saying?
dad?
So now, as I said, a mother and a wife myself, especially to someone that's in the same profession, I understand how busy their schedules can get. You get up, you go work out, you got a shooting practice, you got to meet with the coach, it's a full day's work, and I get that. So when I hear people say, well, why doesn't he get any of the blame? Do y'all think that he was just sitting there and he would just watch her like verbally abuse me and go on about his day? Like, that's not
the question.
These instances didn't. I'm telling you, she's telling me, if you don't go clean your room, your dad's gonna kick you down the stairs. And this is clearly he's not here, which is why she's saying that. But I think that
Pause, bitch. I thought you just said your mom was always gone on the road with him. Make it make sense. You're flip-flopping everywhere. You said your mom was always gone on the road with him. So how could she be at home telling you your dad's gonna whoop your ass if you don't clean your room? First of all, who the fuck doesn't do that? I be telling my kids too, and they don't be scared because they know their dad's not gonna do shit. But I'd be like, hurry up and clean it before your dad gets here. Like, Chantel, make it make sense. You're flip-flopping. First you said your mom's always gone on the road with Doug. Now your mom's home alone with you, threatening you if you don't clean your room, Doug's gonna kick you down the stairs. First of all, that's the lamest shit you ever heard. And that's not the question. The question is, why doesn't Doug get any smoke for being gone on the road? He asked you, why is Doug not getting any smoke? And you're over here talking about, because I'm the one who had to live with my mom. Like, he got to experience her as a wife. I got to experience her as a mom. That's not the question. And I hope he continues to grill that ass.
Viewers are in some ways choosing to be willfully ignorant and say, well, why are you putting all the blame on her? I'm speaking about my negative experiences with her. If that's the blame, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it by all means. But I didn't have the same sort of negative experiences with my dad that I have with my mom. And I think that that's a story for a lot of people out here, that you do have a great relationship with one parent and they can very well still be married. I think that my dad has shown over these last 3 decades that he will love her through and through. You get what I'm saying?
And that's the problem. You're jealous.
You out of this. I'm going to try to love you into being a better person and all of these things. So I don't want to speak on their marriage. I think that what I
He didn't ask you
did
to.
and said on the show in regard to their marriage was very tacky and tasteless. And I think that being a wife myself, like, I don't want nobody to do that to me. So just because I'm upset, like, girl, all right now, like, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I just saw red and I just felt so like, you're really playing in my face. And like, now I'm just unloading the clip. Like,
so she goes on to say that, you know, anything that Doug did to her growing up, he always took accountability for and apologized. Bitch, but that's all we've been seeing your mom do is apologize and kiss your ass this whole time. It's like, you're biased. You have such a hate towards your mom, and it's like you have no smoke for your dad. You're mad at your mom for being on the road with her husband, but you're not mad at your dad for being gone on the road. He asked you specifically, why don't you have that smoke with Doug? And she goes on to talk about her mom. Make it make sense, y'all. Then she says, we weren't raised with respect. Like, what? It's clear you have none. She said we weren't raised with respect. We were raised with fear. Girl, so just because Jackie would say, for instance, i.e., I'm making this up, if you don't do them dishes, I'm going to whoop your ass. Everybody's mom does that. I'm sorry. I told my kids that shit a million times. They are not scared of me, and I've never put my hands on them. Like, they don't fear me whatsoever. And it's crazy because you can't even believe that yourself, Chantel, because we see you are not scared of Jackie. If you were scared of Jackie, you would have never pushed her. You would have never ran up on her, throwing your high heels at her, throwing your purse at her. So it's clear you don't have fear for her. So that's a lie. And you don't respect her. That's abundantly clear. This is my problem with Chantel. Carlos asked her a direct question. You said that you experienced verbal abuse from your mom. Can you tell me about that? This chick can't never give an example. She goes, well, I know like most people would say like that's a typical black household, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I'm a mom now and I wouldn't do that. And, you know, I can give her grace for that. But don't tell me that that's not my experience. Why can you never give an exact example? If somebody was bullied by their mom, somebody was verbally abused, they're going to remember that. Like I remember my mom told me one time, who you talking to, girlfriend? I'll smack the shit out of you. I will never forget she told me that. And I'm not to this day saying, my mom verbally abused me. No, my mom was checking my ass. Like, girl, you better watch your tone. I don't know who the fuck you talking to. Like, that is normal for your mom to put you in your place. You can't give us a fucking example of how she verbally abused you. It's like, you're just spoiled rotten, Chantel. It's crazy. And you're not even doing this interview to try to apologize to your mom. You're doing this interview to try to sway public opinion because everyone on the internet hates you. Like, stop. Please stop. Y'all, listen to this. Please listen to this. She just vouches everything that I just said about Jackie. Please look at how she just vouched everything Jackie been saying on the show this whole time.
You want to rewrite history and tell me I didn't do that. I gave you everything. I gave you the best life. You did. You could provide all of the material things. He made millions of dollars and you could provide all of the things. That doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like you was talking to me really crazy.
So you just vouched that your mom gave you the best life, gave you everything you ever needed, and you said, yeah, you did. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I thought that you talked to me crazy. Then she goes on to tell a story about, you know, she said when she was 12 years old, her mom told her she hates her. Now, this is all I'm going to say because I got to play devil's advocate. If you ain't never had a teenage daughter, you don't know how them bitches will push you to the limit. Let me tell you, I have 3 daughters and 1 boy. And my daughters will push you to the limit. They will say the craziest shit. They will just be so disrespectful. And she said when she was 12 years old, 12 years old? Yeah, that's where it starts. Preteen, that's when your girl starts talking out the side of her neck and starts acting crazy. And I can only imagine a child like Chantel that's spoiled and that gets everything she wants, that she was talking to her mom crazy. You was talking to your mom crazy and you want to go on Carlos and tell him that she told me that she hates me and I'll never forget that. But what did you tell your mom? Because it's like your story always paints Jackie in a bad light, but you're never taking accountability for what happened where your mom told you that. Like, even if she told her that, that's wrong. I'm not going to say that's right. That's wrong, Jackie. But I can see how a fucking preteen can push you to your limit. Trust me, I can. You're not telling me she knocked you up between the washer and dryer. So, come on. She never can tell what she did, but listen for yourself.
Or I feel like you were emotionally abusive. Or that doesn't, two
Was she
things
called
can
you
be
out
true.
your name?
Plenty of times.
The B word?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like you tell me at 12 years old to my face, I hate you, verbatim. That is a moment I will never forget.
Why did she say that?
We were just in the middle of one of our many heated arguments, disputes about whatever it may have been. And it just got to a point where she was like, I hate you. And I think that out of all of her kids, out of all 3 of us, I'm the most outspoken. I'm the one that is like pedal to the floor, right? I've always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that. And that's something that I need to work on. That's something that I need to change about myself and improve on.
So she said out of all her mama's kids, she's the most outspoken, which means, i.e., she talks the most shit to her mom. She gets the craziest with her mom. And we know that because she's spoiled rotten. She's fucking spoiled. She can't say what she did. She can't say anything except for, we were into one of our arguments. You're arguing with your mom at 12 years old. Come on, Chantel. Like, this is all you got? This is what made you DM Carlos for the interview? Come on, Chantel. So she goes on to talk about, you know, her disrespecting her mom on TV. She's like, this isn't new. This didn't come out of nowhere. We've always had moments like this. Oh, so you've been disrespecting your mom. You've been acting the fuck up. She goes, we never got physical before, but we've got like right there. Like, this is nothing new. What does that tell you, y'all? She been disrespecting Jackie. This is not the first time. Like, the ladies on Basketball Wives want to shed tears for Chantel and be like, oh, I can't believe Chantel needs a hug. Like, oh my God, poor Chantel. Chantel been getting all the sympathy. She probably was getting the sympathy from her grandma. She probably gets the sympathy from her dad because she's telling her victim story. You know, she gets all the sympathy, and she's been disrespecting Jackie, and Jackie's fucking tired of it. That's why all season she tried not to deal with it. So he asked her, would you ever call your mom the B word back? As in, you know, growing up, did she ever do that before? She's like, I don't think so. I think the first time was in Hawaii. Bitch, if you don't know without a fucking doubt, no, I ain't never called my mom a bitch. Like, I could say right now, easy peasy. Have you ever called your mom a bitch? Hell no. I've never called my mom a bitch. Like, who the fuck doesn't know? I don't think so. That means you done did it before. You just said in the previous breath that this is nothing new. We always went back and forth like this. Chantel is just a bona fide lie.
I think if people can not look at what happened on Basketball Wives, and I want you guys to just for a second remove the altercation on Basketball Wives, and what I want people to really focus on right now is, as a kid, and as I'm talking to you, you know what is so fascinating, Chantel? I can relate to you.
And that's what the problem is.
I can relate to you.
That's the problem right there.
I can relate to you.
Chantel can't never answer a direct question. He asked her point blank, your sister says that you were your mom's apple of her eye. She put you on a pedestal. You were spoiled and you had like such a great life. You know, is that true? She can never answer. She always got to go into a story. She's like, well, you know, my sister is not Doug's daughter. She has her own dad. And, you know, I have my own kid with a different father. So I make sure I go out of my way to make her feel like, equal. But then she goes on to say that, you know, I'm not the only kid of Doug and Jackie's. You know, I have a brother too. Bitch, answer the question. Do you feel like you were spoiled and treated better than your siblings? And I don't care what these parents be saying out here. Oh, I don't have a favorite. Oh, I don't have a favorite. Parents got fucking favorites, and I see it all the time. They be treating one of their kids better than the other. They be doing everything for one kid, paying all their kids' bills, getting their one kid all the special gifts, taking trips with their one kid. That's favoritism, Chantel. But I don't know why you can't see that. So she goes, I can't tell you how my sister feels, but I can tell you we both had the same experience. We were left here with my grandma. Girl, that is not the fucking question. The question was, do you feel like you were spoiled by your mom and treated better by your mom than the other siblings? Like, what's not clicking, Steven?
What's not clicking, Steven?
I am seriously about to rest my case after this. Listen to this question and listen to her answer, okay?
Would you open up to your dad about how you felt about the things that were going on with your mom, or you kept that to you?
Never. No. We just got to this point in like my late 20s where I finally started to really open up and be transparent with my dad and tell him, because I started to see him as a person and not a parent.
So your dad's this great person. He's this great dad. And all your fucking life, you never told him how you felt about your mom. But that's not what you were saying on Basketball Wives. You were singing a whole different tune. Like, your dad's going to leave your mom. Your dad knows who you are. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it make sense. There's no way your mom and dad are tied at the hip and he don't know what's going on with you and your mom. But now you just told him 28 years later. That's because the issue never fucking existed. You're literally, like Jackie said, making up a phantom issue. So I can see why Doug stays out the bullshit, because you're literally insane. If my kid tried to come up to me at 28 years old and tell me, you know, mom used to talk to me crazy when I was a kid, do you know I'll be looking at her like, girl, do you know what kind of privileged life you led? And this shit did not happen, Chantel. So you was asking your dad for cars and houses, having him come pick you up and move your shit. Like I told you in the book, she was living in an apartment next to her sister. And one day he pulls up and packs up her apartment and moves her back down with him. So you was close enough with your dad to have him come pack up your shit and move you when you got knocked up. but you're not close enough with your dad to tell him, oh, that your mom was talking to you crazy. That's a fucking lie. Every dad in the household knows what's going on. They may be at work, but when he gets home, you're telling your dad. It's just, I can't. Everything about her is manipulative and so full of shit. I don't do liars. It's my pet peeve. And look at the look on Carlos' face when she said this. Even he don't believe the shit. Is that the face of someone who believes what you're selling? No. He looking at her like, girl, I done flew out here with this cameraman to hear this bullshit. Come on, Chantel. Chantel is very delusional. He tries to throw her a bone and say, maybe, your mom did the best she can with, what she learned or what she knew, what she experienced. So, you said you had a great relationship with your grandma. You loved your grandma. How was your grandma's relationship with your mom? And she's like, they had a good relationship. My grandma loved her unconditionally. My grandma had 9 kids. She was one of 9. But, my mom is the one that she chose to live with. Chose to live with, or the one that your mom took care of? Okay, so then she goes, she was the one that, lived with my mom, basically trying to say, like, as if she lived with Jackie because Jackie needed the most help from her mom, and her mom knew that. No, bitch. How about Jackie was the one out of her kids that was paying everyone's bills, putting everyone up in houses, putting everyone up in apartments, moving people to LA. She moved her mom, her sisters, everyone to LA when Doug got signed to the Lakers. So it's like the delusion in your head and the way you think about your mom, when you should be thinking, like, out of all my grandma's 9 kids, my mom was the one who stepped up to take care of my grandma. My mom was the one who stepped up and was paying my grandma bills. But it's like, you don't think that way, because everything you think about your mom is just so fucking negative. So she wants us to believe that she wasn't spoiled, that she moved out at 18 and got a job at Walmart. Girl, we already know that you was living with your cousin, because we read it in the book, and you was fucking your cousin's man, and then you try to get at your other cousin's man. And it's like, stop trying to act like you're just this little independent girl who moved out and got her own place. Like, and then when you did get a place, who helped you get that place? Your mom. Who came over there and was buying you furniture? Your mom. Like, it's funny how she just really want to distance herself from the fact that she grew up privileged. She was like, yeah, everyone thinks I grew up privileged, but I was a cashier at Walmart. Okay, Chantel. We know damn well you can't get no apartment and take care of yourself working at Walmart. So who the fuck was paying your bills? Mommy and daddy. Y'all, this girl has deep-rooted problems. He literally asked her, so do you take accountability for, what happened? Talking about her hitting her mom. And she goes, yeah, I take accountability for that. But, and then she goes on and fucking turns the opposite direction. She's like, but it's like, I'm finally in the room with the person who was like never taking accountability and blah, blah, blah. No, bitch, this is not how you take accountability. She blames everything on Jackie and then says this, my mind is blown.
It's like, you want to rewrite history and tell me I didn't do that. I gave you everything. I gave you the best life. You did. You could provide all of the material things. He made millions of dollars and you could provide all of the things. That doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like you was talking to me really crazy, or I feel like you were emotionally abusive, or that doesn't.
Will she call you out your name?
Plenty of times.
The B word?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, you tell me at 12 years old to my face, I hate you, verbatim. That is a moment I will never forget.
Why did she say that?
We were just in the middle of one of our many heated arguments, disputes about whatever it may have been. And it just got to a point where she was like, I hate you. And I think that out of all of her kids, out of all 3 of us, I'm the most outspoken. I'm the one that is like pedal to the floor, right? I've always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that.
Am I living in an alternate universe? Because he literally just asked her, what did Jackie do to you in your childhood? How does she verbally abuse you? And she said, oh, my mom verbally abused me. She said that she hated me. But then she said she was looking all season for her mom to take accountability. And she was like, yeah, my mom apologized. Like, if I said anything to you in your childhood that hurt you, I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for what she did this season. Bitch, all season, that's not what you were saying. All season, you were talking about what she did to you as a child. Nobody knows what you went through as a child. But now you're backpedaling and saying, no, you didn't want your mom to take accountability for what happened as a child. Like, what? My mind is blown that this girl is so crazy. Like, she has deep-rooted issues. So now you're basically trying to say you were mad at what she did to you this season. What did she do to you this season? Not pick your fucking side when you and Brandy was arguing? That's all she did, is stay out of your argument with you and Brandy. You cannot be serious. He said, where were you and your mom when you decided to join Basketball Wives this season? She's like, we weren't in a bad place, but we weren't besties, but we weren't in a bad place. So she goes on to say that her and her mom haven't lived in the same state. She moved away from her mom, for 5 years ago. And when her daughter was 2.5. Bitch, you're 32 years old. That's what you should be doing. You're a grown-ass woman. Why would you still be living by mommy and daddy? Like, I'm so confused, like, how this proves your point. She's like, we haven't been, like, in the same space besides, like, events or if we went to Disney on Ice. It's like, girl, that's what adults do. Like, they don't go shack up at their mommy and daddy's house. Like, I'm so confused. So she said she was living a good life in Arizona. She didn't need to come to the show. The show looked for her. She didn't come on here to try to drag her mom and blah, blah, blah. But then she goes on to say that the reason why she finally joined the show was because her mom was assuring her, like, come on, you could come on. This is going to be a positive experience. So your mom assured you she wasn't going to be on no bullshit. This is going to be a positive experience. Let's show each other we love each other. And you still came on to be the problem. Because your mom did not start shit with you. She came on trying to be supportive, trying to go with you and your baby to modeling. She tried to come to your apartment. And every time you was giving her the cold shoulder, then you went and linked up with the ops. The first chance you could, you was trying to take your mom down. Make it make sense.
And through continued encouragement and petitions and so on and so forth from my mom, oh, come on, Deanna, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be positive. Come make your little money and go about your business.
Y'all, she just said that her mom invited her to the show, petitioned to get her on the show, told her, I'm going to help you get the bag. We're going to have a great experience. This is going to be nothing but positive vibes. And then you turn around and say she invited you on the show to play in your face. Your mom did not start nothing with you, Chantel. And the fact that Carlos called this video taking accountability when she has yet to take any is fucking insane. Look what she said after the last breath where she just said her mom invited her and said it was going to be positive. She could get her bag.
I wasn't looking for this.
Yeah, no, I interviewed your mom, of course, and she said your mother said, what you said, like she reached out to get you on the show. Your mother did confirm that to me.
So you brought me here to play in my face.
That's how you felt. Or do you still feel that way?
I mean, we could get into the meat and bones of what happened. Absolutely. That is what happened. You played in my face.
So Carlos asked her, okay, as a producer, I still can't for the life of me figure out, like, what was the moment where things took a turn this season for you and your mom? This bitch says, the very first scene. Come again? So she says, because her mom walked in the apartment on the first scene and reached to grab the baby, to hold the baby, like, let me see my grandbaby. And she was like, no, he needs to warm up first, like, blah, blah. And because Jackie was trying to grab him and hold him, she didn't like that. What? She's like, yeah, she only met him when he was 7 months. Bitch, you said you moved to Arizona. Like, why you ain't bringing your baby to go see your elderly parents? Why you not flying to have your mom meet the baby? Like, you're an adult now. So she's like, my mom only met him when he was 7 months old. And so I'm like, oh, no, he needs to warm up to you. You can't just be grabbing him. So, like, I feel like it's for the cameras. Bitch, why would you come on the show then? So you just said from scene number 1, you started with a chip on your shoulder with your mom. You started with the issue from scene number 1. I can't make this up. So she said when she lived in Sacramento and she had her daughter, her mom was able to have a good relationship with her daughter. They were close. Bitch, because you lived with your mom. Like, what's not clicking, Steven? I just posted yesterday that, do y'all remember when she went on Basketball Wives and they filmed that scene and Jackie said, I'm looking for a house for me, Doug, Shani, and the baby. They all lived together. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Your mom had a relationship with your other daughter because you lived there. Now you moved away. You got a husband in another state. You ain't even let your mom meet your husband. So you're expecting your mom to be flying out to you to meet your baby when you supposedly act like your mom treated you so bad. It just ain't making sense to me. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might expect, oh yeah, Jackie should catch a flight and go meet the baby, but I wouldn't do it because Chantel is just a liar. Who knows what that bitch might say? She might say, oh, my mom came over and dropped my baby. Like, I wouldn't. I don't know. I would just cut Chantel off. Like, you have such this hate and frustration towards me. Why do you want a relationship with me? Like, why? So she goes on to say that her mom pissed her off because when she came to her apartment in that first scene, she sat down and she's like, they didn't air this, but I'm going to say what she said to me. I haven't told anyone what she said. She acts like it's going to be a fucking bombshell, right? She sits down and she goes, Shani, I don't mean to pry, but how's things going with you and Stacy, her daughter's father? This is what sets Chantel off. She said she gets all pissed off because we have had several talks about what I'm going through with him. And we said we weren't going to talk about this on the show. But bitch, that didn't even, first of all, that's not even saying anything. What's going on with you and him? She didn't say what's going on with your custody battle. She didn't say no drama. She just said, how are things going? It's on you if you want to bring it up or not. But you get mad at your mom for asking that question. But yet you turn around and make it your storyline. You're sitting on the couch with the girls telling them you got to go to court because he doesn't want you to leave the state. Why would he want you to leave the state with his daughter? What kind of good father would want their mom, their baby's mom, to pick up and move with their daughter? No father in their kid's life would want that. Y'all, Chantel is so delusional. I told y'all, y'all were right in my comments talking about she wants her mom's life. She said, if we want to be technical, I'm the only basketball wife on this cast. My mom is married to my dad and he's a coach now. He's not even a basketball player. If that don't reveal everything you need to know of the jealousy that she has towards her mother, I don't know what else to say. Because all the issues that she's pulling out, she's just pulling them out of thin air and trying to make an issue. So she claims she didn't know if that was going to make it on the show because I'd never been a cast member before. Girl, you've been filming with your mom on the show for years. You've had confessionals and everything, so don't give me that. And then she's like, so that's why I brought it to the show. All your mom asked you was, how are you and Stacy doing? That was it. It was up to you to release whatever information you wanted to release. So nobody told you to go telling Brittany and all them that you were going to court for custody. That was on you. So then she said, then my mom, her and Brandy have a mutual friend. And supposedly there's a rumor that they told them that I'm a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. Or I have a girlfriend, some shit like that, right? And she's like, my mom tried to get Brandy to say the rumor and she wouldn't. And then she tried again when we were on the boat in Hawaii. And Brandy was like, no, I'm not doing it. You mean on the boat in Hawaii at the cash trip at the end of the season after you've been fucking bullying your mom all season, dragging your mom, saying her husband's going to leave her and like her marriage is a sham? Like, I can't. Like, yeah, Jackie is wrong if she was going to say the rumor, but you act like you don't know you're on a fucking reality show. And the producers aren't prying and telling Jackie, ask her about her husband. Jackie, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm going to keep reviewing, but this is getting hard for me to review. Okay, so let me just jump to the meat and potatoes. Carlos asked her, why did you lie? Why did you lie and go back and tell all the ladies that your mom hit you? She can't never answer a question. Well, I said that because of this. No, she always got to go into a long soliloquy that wraps around the corner, around the block 7-Eleven and back and never answers why. So he asked her, did your mom hit you? She confirms no. Then he asked, why did she lie?
Did she make contact with you?
She didn't. She pushed me into the camera. Like she balled up her fist and kind of tried to, like she was aiming for my head. But because I ducked out the way, I fell into the cameraman. That's how the finger ended up bleeding. Like it didn't happen.
Then why did you go back and tell the girl she hit you?
I think that for me and what I want people to understand is I can see how it looks like I was a liar. When I left that scene and I went back down there and I explained to the women what happened, this is 15, 20 minutes after this altercation with my mom. Now, should I have left that room and went to my own? Absolutely. That should have been the end of it.
At that moment, did you feel like when you walked back and told them she hit me, is because you thought she hit you, or did the memory of she didn't make contact with you? Like, what was your thought process?
I think it was all very blurry for me. And I think that I led with, she swung on me.
Yes,
and
you
I
did. I'm sorry.
think
Yes,
that
yes,
it morphed into
Yes, you
she
did.
really put her hands on me because I was just in disbelief that you really balled up your fist and tried to aim for my head like I was a stranger in the street simply because I pushed you off of me. And I feel like that's what the viewers are. They're being willfully ignorant in this way. You put your hand on my elbow, knowing that I'm upset, whether you were trying to usher me out the room or not, whether I should have left out the door or not. As my mother, you know that I'm upset. You know that touching me is going to send me off. You're trying to not sun me, but you're trying to, come on, do you get what I'm saying? And because I've already made up in my mind that this is the game that you're playing and this is the narrative that you're going with, watch out. Don't do that. You get what I'm saying? I see now how that push looks like, well, girl, you started it and you deserve everything that was coming to you. That is not how I felt in that moment. And that's still not how I feel today. Should I have pushed her? Absolutely not. I don't want my kids to put their hands on me. I want my kids to treat me that way? No. But will I do to my kids what my mom has done to me? No. So I guess we'll never know.
Objection, like Lovely TV saying, Carlos, stop leading the witness. Stop throwing her a fucking bone. Oh, were you confused? Well, why did you lie? The point is she's a fucking liar. She's proven to be a liar. She lied and went back and told the lady, she swung on me. Matter of fact, as soon as it happened, she told her mom, I can't believe you touched me. I can't believe you put your hands on me. It's over. It's over. Start throwing her shoes, throwing her purse at her. Chantel has a serious lying problem. She said earlier in the interview, her dad knew nothing about how her mom treated her growing up. Then she turns around and says she called her dad right after this happened because, she tells her dad everything. Her dad knows everything about her mom. He knows how she is. He's been dealing with her for years. He knows how she is. You contradict every single thing you said. You just said 20 minutes ago, your dad knew nothing about how your mom treated you growing up. Now you said you called him after the fight because your dad knows how your mom is and he knows everything. Like, you never make sense. He asked her, why did she say that her dad was going to leave her mom? She said, I shouldn't have spoke on that. She basically said that she fucking said it because she was mad. She didn't confirm if her dad's leaving her mom or not. Then he asked her about Ming, why, Ming said after she posted that she was sorry to Jackie, that people unfollowed her. He's like, did you unfollow her? And she said, yes, I did. Her reason for that was bullshit as well. Let me play that.
You feel like you owe her this apology, which is fair. I get it. Like, I understand. I didn't best explain the way that this fight happened. And so you thought something else happened and you judged Jackie off of it. I can understand that. But I feel like what made me unfollow her or what made me feel some sort of way about her is like the other commentary in the statement. Like, as a mother, I can understand. And if I was, but as a daughter, you should also be able to understand because you yourself have said you and Vicky have problems. So I was shocked. I just quietly unfollowed and just went on about my day. Because sis, if that's how you feel, I respect it. I'm not going to press you about it. It is what it is.
So basically, anyone that doesn't side with Chantel, she has a problem with. She has a problem with Jackie for not siding with her with Brandy. She has a problem with Ming because Ming didn't side with her when she said, I respect how she feels. Bitch, you don't respect how she feels. Because as soon as she apologized to your mom, now you have an issue because of how she feels and how she apologized to your mom. And now you're going to try to throw Ming under the bus and say, oh, Ming said she had problems with her mom. Like, bitch, you're doing the same shit you just try to accuse Jackie of. Why the fuck would you bring up that Ming had problems with her mom when she did not discuss that on TV? Like, you're fucking gross. You're like, ugh, I can't. So then he asks her, have you talked to your mom since? No, I haven't talked to her. But I thought this video is called Taking Accountability. What part of this whole interview did she take accountability? She hasn't called her mom. She didn't call her to apologize. He's like, well, have you heard from her at all? She's like, well, my brother said that he called her and she was like, she sees all the heat that I'm getting online. Would she like me to make a statement? Jackie wants to know, should she make a statement on Chantel's behalf to try to get all the hate to go away? And she said, no, I don't need her to do that. And then in the next fucking breath, she goes, yeah, but like, why would I have to ask you to do that? You should just already do that. You want her to make a statement on your behalf when you haven't even called your mom since you struck her? You haven't apologized to her? You still think you're in the right? You just want your mom to read your mind and do everything to comfort you like you're a child, but you want to be treated as an adult. You're an adult now. You're an adult now. Okay, and then the last piece I'm going to leave y'all with this is this. He asked her about, everyone says she came into the show trying to take Jackie's spot. And look what this bitch says.
If I had came on here with the intent to embarrass her, to out her, to talk down about her, etc., maybe I would feel embarrassed or like, damn, like she really foiled my plans. Everybody's saying, oh, you came on here with the intent to embarrass your mom and you failed. I didn't fail.
So she said her intentions right there. She said, everyone said I came on here with the intent to embarrass my mom and do this and do that. And they said I failed. I didn't fail. So is that not doubling down on not taking accountability? You just showed everyone that they're right. You came on here to try to take your mom's spot, to try to embarrass your mom, to try to make her look like a fucking horrible mother. And when people are telling you you did not succeed at that, you're telling them, oh, yes, I did. I can't make this up, y'all. I need to hear what y'all think down in the comments. Do y'all think now, once and for all, Chantel is delusional? Are all the Chantel writers in my comments, do y'all finally agree that what is the reason? What is the reason why she had such a terrible childhood? She named one incident. Her and her mom got into it when she was a preteen and her mom said, I hate you. That's the one thing she has named that her mom did to her throughout the whole interview. That's the one thing. All the other things she named was, oh, her and Brandy got into it and she picked Brandy's side. She didn't stick up for her. Like, that's it. That's all. That's what this all boils down to. A spoiled little brat that want to attack her mom. She hasn't called her mom to apologize. She still thinks she's in the right, but yet the title of the video is Taking Accountability. That's insane to me. All right, put it down in the comments. Meet me down in the comments. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Put the thumbs up. Put your notification bells on. Share this video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.